This is School 100 with our next category, Reviewing, and Kale Naylor will be reviewing The Sandlot.
All my life, I've loved baseball. Looking back through my life, baseball has been a part of so many of my best memories. And even today, as I manage all my involvements in engineering, college, and high school classes, and even late night speech practices, baseball is still a part of my everyday life. So, it might seem cliche that I would choose to review a movie about the sport. And sure, the David Evans' classic, The Sandlot, may, on the surface, seem like a movie about baseball. But I'm actually here to contend that Evans' film has very little to do with the game of baseball. Yes, I'm here to contend that one doesn't need to have ever stood behind the plate, taken at bat, or fielded a fly ball to find much in Evans' film with which to relate. In my review, I'm here to make the case that The Sandlot is less about playing ball and more about the playbook of life. And for that reason, remains timeless viewing for our audience of all ages, interests, and backgrounds. This is a movie about belonging, believing, and being a good human, which I contend is exactly the right message for viewers today. Evans sets his film in 1962, though its relevance appeals to audiences of any era. His cast of main characters is comprised of a ragtag group of friends of generally modest means. The boys represent diverse racial, cultural, and ethnic backgrounds. But notably, this fact is presented in Evans' film without note at all. This is just one of the reasons, in my opinion, that this is exactly the movie we need right now. When a newcomer arrives in the neighborhood, another experience to which many can relate themselves, trouble ensues as the group loses a very valuable autographed ball over the fence of a recluse older man whom local folklore has led the boys to fear. Retrieving the lost ball requires teamwork, determination, and facing their greatest fears. But in the process, it's not only the lost ball the boys recover. They likewise discover much about seeing beyond prejudice and preconceived perceptions as each boy finds himself along the way. For films regarded as classics, broad audience appeal is essential. And as I've said before, this is really a movie about much more than just baseball. Viewers don't need to know the infield fly rule to appreciate this movie. In fact, they don't need any knowledge of the game at all. Famed movie reviewer Roger Ebert shares his perspective in stating that unlike so many films of the similar genre, The Sandlot is not infected with the same virus of winning, stating that Evans' movie holds appeals to those for viewers who aren't sports fans, as it breaks that tradition, that allows its kids to be kids, that shows them in the restricted world of imagination and dreaming, a notion all too often missing in our world today. The life lessons this movie imparts, however, should be mandatory viewing for the playbook of life, including never judge a book by its cover, include everyone, and be brave in order to face one's fears. The first of these life lessons, imparted by the film, encourages viewers to not judge a book by its cover. On the surface, it may seem easy for the boys to regard their mysterious neighbor with a measure of fear. Physically, Mr. Myrtle has an impressive stature, looming large over the young boys with a booming, deep voice. And in terms of his dog, Hercules is revealed to be a bull mastiff and not an actual beast, whose bark proves much greater than his bite. Additionally, Mr. Myrtle is visually impaired, having lost his eyesight after being struck by a high fastball in his own baseball career. In subtle acknowledgement of society's tendency to shy away from those of differing ability, Evans offers viewers an important question many might do well asking themselves today, and having Mr. Myrtle's character inquire, "Why didn't you just knock on the door?" after the boys reveal the full extent of their antics and been trying to recover their lost ball, responding that he would have gladly gone to retrieve it for them. Evans' film offers viewers a simple but profound question to consider. Why don't we just go knock on one of those doors, rather than allowing our preconceived notions, biases, and fears to govern our thinking? A second important message imparted by Evans' film is that we need to include everyone. We see this message through Scotty Smalls, as he feels like an outcast after moving into a new city. Scotty decides to learn how to play baseball to fit in more with the other kids. After embarrassing himself in front of the group, Benny takes notice of Scotty and helps him learn baseball. Through this interaction between characters promotes Evans's message of including everyone on whatever you're doing, whether it's playing a game of baseball or just having lunch with friends, as allowing yourself to open up to new people you never thought you'd talk to can lead to new experiences you never thought you'd enjoy. The third lesson I've taken away from The Sandlot is to be brave in order to face your fears. There are a few kids in our main group that show this lesson. Scotty is the first one we see of this. The way he faces his fear is by approaching the group of young boys in order to find new friendships. Next, we take a look at Benny, as he puts his reputation of being the group leader on the line when bringing Scotty into the group after teaching him how to play baseball. And to finish off this lesson, we have Michael, also known as Squints by the group of young boys. After getting talked up by the young boys, he gains the confidence to approach his crush and ask her out. Through these characters, Evans shows that being brave in order to face one's fears can lead to a better future. Now that I've gone over all the life lessons I've taken away from the film, I'd like to give you my final thoughts and why I believe it's the best out there. First, The Sandlot doesn't follow the usual underdog story we see over and over again throughout countless baseball movies. Instead, it focuses on more of a realistic approach of kids simply playing for the love of the game. Second, the group of kids we follow throughout the movie are very easy to relate to today, and all of their interactions feel natural to watch happen. Last, The Sandlot has stood the test of time as it continues to stay relevant today through its many iconic lines, such as the most famous one, "You're killing me, Smalls," from this clip here.
Hey, you want a s'more? S'more what? No, you want a s'more? I haven't had anything yet. So how can I have some more of nothing? Shut up! You're killing me, Smalls.
And with that, I'd like to invite you to join me in my appreciation for David Evans' classic, The Sandlot, a movie about far more than just playing baseball, a movie that offers a playbook of life lessons for viewers of all ages, and a movie that, in my opinion, is simply killing it.